So let's pray, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. I pray for everyone at the food bank that's volunteering and all the other charities that make the mustard seed and everything else go around and around. Let's just pray that we have giving hearts and we'll always have giving hearts and donating to these charities that help people in need. So let's pray to the Lord. The Lord, hear our prayer. And let's pray for world peace, the end of COVID, the end of school shootings, the end of terrorism, the end of everything bad, and pray that God's will be done. So let's pray to the Lord. Lord, hear our prayer. Okay, first of all, to the sheet I gave you, we're going to look at the first page, the ice skating page, page 172. We're going to do a question, and then you're going to do a question, and pretty much it's going to work like that for this grade 9 review. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is collect like terms. Oops. So I'll go ahead and write down CLT, that means collect like terms, or write down collect like terms. And when there's an addition sign in the middle, it means you just collect like terms. There's no effect. It's plus 1 multiplied by that, and anything times 1 is itself. So we're just going to collect like terms. Now you have to know what to do when you collect like terms. And what you're going to do is you're going to add numbers or numerical coefficients and keep letters. So write that down, please, which is literal coefficients. Add numbers, keep letters. Now you guys got to stop guessing. You cannot guess in math. This is what you did all year last year. Okay, you can do -5 subtract 7. You have a calculator. That's all you're doing is 3 subtract 9. Hopefully you can do it in your head. If you can't, use your calculator and get it right every time and put the answer with the x. Okay, so you add or subtract the numbers and keep the x, or keep the x squared. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to underline. I'm just going to use different colors this time. So there's purple, those are a squares. So you underline the a squares, including the sign in front of it. Remember, terms start with addition or subtraction signs. So it starts, this is not 13, it's -13. Okay, next color, I'm going to put the x's together. So this is a -1x and this is a positive 1x. There's no numbers in front of x, it means 1x. And lastly, we're going to do the +9 and the subtract 13. Now we add the purples together, the a squares together. So we get 5 plus 1 is 6. Keep the letter. For the green, we do -1 plus 1. And don't guess. If you don't know that's 0, then punch it in your calculator. Your negative sign is right here. Hopefully you know that's 0. But you need to know that the negative sign is right beside your equal button or your enter button. There's no reason to get any of these integer questions wrong because you have a calculator. Okay, it's all about using your calculator. It's all Xbox stuff. You guys are good at that. Okay, so green is -1 plus 1, so that just cancels. That equals 0. Same numbers, different signs. And then the blue is 9 subtract 13. You just punch that in your calculator. 9 subtract 13, punch it in. What do you get? You get -4, so you put subtract 4. And that's what you do every time. There's no reason to get these wrong for sign mistakes if you use your calculator. As long as you are making sure you put -13 in here, not +13. It includes the sign in front of it. Okay, your turn. Do 10 for me, please. Add the b cubes and the y's and the numbers and the b squares. Again, collect like terms. You can only have b squares to b squares. The b cube only has the b, it doesn't have another b cube, so you just bring it down. If there's something that doesn't have another one, you just bring it down. No phones, please, if you got 9 out of 10 or more. Find some other homework to do, please. Thank you. Now, the smartest woman on earth says, I'll do all this quick math for you. You're going to say no, because you'll get 10 and 10 on your next quiz, but then you won't remember, you won't know how to do it for the next 3 quizzes and the next quest and test. Okay, you need to know this on your own. You need to do your homework. Some of you are giving me a good effort, some of you are not. Some of you are not doing your homework and not, you're just guessing and telling yourself, I can't do this. You can do this. It's all about using your calculator and putting X's down for your collecting like terms. You just have to distinguish between collecting like terms and distributing, which is multiply. This is add and subtract. When we draw arrows, we multiply. Those are different. You have to know which one is which. Where did that go? Okay, number 10. Let's start it. And collect those like terms. Here we go. Learn to love it. B cubed, there's no other B cubed, so that's all by itself. There's a B squared, including the sign. There's another B squared, including this. It's not 2, it's negative 2. Green, we got a negative 2y and a positive 3y. Now this is different than these ones. These ones with subtractions in the middle, the first thing you have to do is rewrite them as an addition question and get rid of the brackets. You got to distribute that negative 1. So this is different than that. Make sure you know right now. These are when you add terms. Every single question, you don't just add terms. You can't. You have to, for these ones with subtraction signs, you need to distribute the negative 1 first. So make sure you know that difference. Oh, let's go here. Anyways, let's go back to the one I was on. And now there's a number 7 subtract 8. Okay, let's do the blue one. There's only one blue one. B cubed. Purple. You got 1b squared, subtract 2b squared. So that's what you do in your calculator. 1 subtract 2. You don't multiply them. You do 1 subtract 2 in your calculator, you get negative 1. You can put negative 1 if you want. I'll accept it. Negative b squared is the same thing as negative 1b squared. Green, you got negative 2. And then plus 3. That's what you do in your calculator. Negative 2 plus 3. You get 1. So plus 1, yo-yo. And then lastly, in red, you got 7 subtract 8. So that's what you do in your calculator, or do it in your big fat brain. And you get negative 1, and so you just put subtract 1. Okay, don't put plus negative 1, just put subtract 1. That's what you got? Perfect. Okay, so that's the addition ones. That's collecting like terms. That's when you don't have to do anything else, when it's an addition sign, or if there's no brackets at all, you just collect like terms. You can only add x squares to x squares. You can only add x's to x's. You can only add numbers to numbers. So don't mess up this perfect answer. There's nothing you can do with b cubed and b squared. You can only add b cubes to b cubes and b squares to b squares. Everyone got that down? Next. Now I'm craving pizza. Thanks a lot. Next is the subtraction signs in the middle. So let's do 11 together. You need to subtract this whole trinomial. That means you're multiplying by negative 1. And anytime you multiply by negative 1, if you multiply this by negative 1, it becomes 11. This by negative 1 becomes negative 10. This by negative 1 becomes positive 7. It becomes the opposite sign. Oh, I got this. I got this. I do that every time. So here, you're going to change all the signs inside the second bracket. Your y squared is going to become negative y squared. Your 6x is going to become subtract 6x. Your subtract 3 is going to become plus 3 because you're multiplying by negative 1. Okay, it's good to know the shortcut or the rule, but it's good to know why all the signs change. It's because you're multiplying by -1. So let's rewrite 11. I wonder if I can do this or not. Do I have room? I think so. So we're going to leave. You don't change the signs on this trinomial. You leave the first three terms exactly the same. 6x squared, y squared. This is weird. You got y squared and x's plus 3, and then you go subtract y squared. Opposite sign of 6x is -6x, and opposite sign of subtract 3 is plus 3. Now you collect like terms. Go ahead and collect like terms. Add the y squares to the y squared, add the x's to the x's, add the numbers to the numbers, including the signs out front. So now add them up. You can collect like terms. Please bring big stuff for the food bank Friday. Thank you so much if you did already. I still got to bring more than I have, but that will be part of my son's fundraising with Dad. Pick up the baby stuff. Add the numbers, keep the sign, or keep the letter. Another 15 seconds. And let's see how you did. You should be getting better and better and better. No guessy-wessy. Forget the guessing. Guessing, no. No more guessing. It's not working. It's not going to work. You have to know what to do. You can make the odd sign mistake and silly mistake, that's fine. But you can't not know what to do at all when you have a question like this. Okay, so first you distribute, get rid of the subtraction sign, and now you collect like terms. In the red, 6 subtract 1 is 5. Keep the y squared. The green guys, -6 subtract 6. Now don't just cancel it because if they have the same numbers. Punch that in your calculator, -6 subtract 6. Everyone punch that in your calculator, -6 subtract 6. And you see, oh, I thought I canceled, but it's actually -12. Keep the x. They only cancel if they have the opposite signs. And last thing in blue, you got 3 plus 3. You don't need a calculator for that one, plus 6. Anybody get that? All right, pat yourself on the back. If you didn't get it, who cares? Pat yourself on the back for trying so hard. But not guessing. Okay, next question. You're doing the next question on your own. Number 12, please. This is the math text I used in 1998 when I taught grade 9. How old were you guys in 1998? 4 or 5? I was 28. Any questions? Anybody? Ay, ay, ay. Nope, I'm on the wrong one. This is number 12. First step should be this. You distribute that subtraction sign into each term of that second trinomial. You rewrite the first three just exactly as you see them. Okay, just bring them down. -8t squared plus 4t, subtract 1. Now the blue ones, all these signs change inside that bracket. So 4 becomes subtract 4. -7t squared becomes plus 7t squared. And plus 5t becomes subtract 5t. Okay, so look to see if you made any sign mistakes. Hopefully you didn't. Now I'll give you a chance to collect like terms. Another 22 seconds while I take a bite of pizza. Okay. I know it's pepperoni. Where's it from? Okay. Hoping it's the best. I stayed over my dad's on the weekends. My dad parted ways when I was 10. He would either frozen pizza or a chili con carne. It was one of the two. Never both of it. That was only two things he made. Okay, t squared, not 8, negative 8t squared plus 7t squared. Negative 8 plus 7 is what you do on your calculator. And you don't ever get it wrong. Negative 1 t squared. Try not to use a calculator. Try to guess first and then confirm it with the calculator. Next, is 4t subtract 5t. So you do 4 subtract 5. 4 subtract 5 is negative 1. Keep the t. And lastly, is negative 1 subtract 4. Again, don't lose a sign. That's what you're doing. You have to know you're not multiplying those two. You are subtracting them. So subtract 5 at the end. Check. Good. Yup. All right. Do a fist bump. That's not a fist bump. Gio is back tonight. He's playing. He's dressing tonight. They're cracking. I love Gio. All right. Let's do try 14 now. On your own. 14 on your own. It's getting better and better and better. Yep. Negative, this is negative 1 and subtract 4. So you're doing this on your calculator, which is negative 5. You just probably missed a sign. And remember, you're not multiplying, you're always adding and subtracting when you're collecting like terms. Adding and subtracting, the numbers you see, the signs you see, that's what you put. Yep, do 14, please. There's one person that dropped something off that did. And did you ever get your candy? Did you get your candy first? Oh, you just get the candy. I know people in need. You want watermelon or cherry?
Cherry.
Okay. Should have a good start on this one. Okay, now you should be able to recognize these. First 3 terms stay the same. These 3 terms, they change sign. I'm going to do it the other way, which is the exact same thing, but I'm going to say negative 1 times 3 is negative 3 y squared. Negative 1 times negative 8 is plus 8y. And negative 1 times negative 2 is plus 2. That's how I do it. I don't just change your signs. I'm actually multiplying by negative 1. Okay, collect like terms. You got 22 seconds. Since most of you are done already. Now add the y squares together. Add the numbers, keep the signs. Add the y's together. Add the numbers, keep the signs. Keep the left y squared. Keep the y's. And add the numbers together. And put equal signs. Everyone put equal signs. Before I turn into a growly grizzly bear. Equal signs, please. Your math doesn't make sense unless put equal signs. Oh, I love this guy. Look at that. Even though we got wiped by the Yankees, we got crushed by the Yankees last night, He still believes. Me too. Get a candy for that. I quite enjoy wearing my flame shirt after they lose, which is a lot. You want watermelon or watermelon? Watermelon or cherry? Watermelon or cherry?
Cherry.
No protein on flavor. Good work. You fight Goudreau at the truck plant, so I'm excited. Not Markstrom. So many old guys are playing now. So 8y squared subtract 3. 8 subtract 3 equals 5. Keep the y squared. What's 6 plus 8? 14. Keep the yo-yo. And lastly, what's negative 1 plus 2? That's what you're doing in your head. Calgary Flames, plus 1. Best team in Calgary. Can I get that? Check. Nice. Good thumbs. Let's talk about this cartoon now. Okay. Laugh. Enjoy the cartoon. Be happy. Now, I'm a weirdo. I'm actually trying to solve this. This square root of, what's the square root of 9? 3. What's 2 plus 3? Okay. Nope. So I subtract 2. I almost did it. So that's subtract 2. So that's 6. And this is 3 divided by. Okay, good. So what's the answer? Looks like it's a half. That's how you get that. Anyways. Okay. Let's talk about distributive property now. That was collect like terms. Distributive property, we want to talk, I think it's up here. Yep. We want to talk about 21 and 22 and 23. So this is the stuff when you draw arrows. Arrows mean multiply. When you have an arrow from this guy going to this guy, you have to know what to do. You no longer do negative 10 plus 5. No. Arrows mean multiply. You do negative 10 times 5. Okay, so it's number times number. If you want to do it, negative 50. And then x times y, well, that's what xy means, x times y. So if you have two numbers that are different or variables, you just swoosh them together and you're done. So if you had that arrow, this term times this term, you'd get negative 50 xy. What about this from here to here in one of the FOIL arrows, or just a distributive property? Well, you multiply 15 times negative 3, negative 45. So let's write down, multiply numbers and add exponents when you multiply variables. So this is where x times x does equal x squared, because that's what x squared means, x times x. X times itself 2 times. That's what x squared means, x times itself 2 times. So when you're multiplying, drawing arrows, and you have an x and an x, you don't keep the x, you multiply them together to get x squared. Man, I'm doing a good job right now, right? Well, thank you. Next. So we have a x squared times an x. We have 2 x's here, we have 1 x here, we have 3 x's altogether, which is x cubed. And here we have 1y and 2 y's, so y times y squared. If you add exponents, there's a 1 here. If you add exponents, you can look at that way as well. There's y cubed. Okay, so add exponents. If there is no exponent, x means x to the first. Y means y to the first. Got it good? Next, let's do 23. We're going to be multiplying those together. What's negative 2 times 3? Negative 6. What are all these letters that are all different together? Just push them together. B squared first, try alphabetical order, x to the 5th second, y, z. All the letters are different. You just push them together and There's multiplication signs right here, you just don't see them. Dot, 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 dot. That's what x, y, z means, x times y times z. Okay, your turn. Do Gary Hoodler's old number. 4. Happy, you're doing great, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, no guessing. No guessing. $24 you multiply, okay, so you don't do 3 subtract 5. That's only if this bracket wasn't here. Brackets mean multiply, so you multiply the numbers. If there was no bracket here, and it was just a subtraction sign, and they were like terms, which they're not, then we can start talking about adding and subtracting the numbers. Oops. Anyways, we're multiplying, so 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. You have 3 x's and 1 x. X to the 4th. Y times y is what? Y squared, and z times z squared is z cubed. That's how you get that one. We're done that page. We're talking about skating. I've had some skates. I would skate x, jump, 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 jump. That would be my figure skating carved ice. Speaking of soccer, I'm coaching Timbits, last one, with my son, 6-year-old. I got them to wear their Halloween costume today instead of their uniform. It'll be fun. And then I got 5 good guys and 5 bad guys. They're going to have a soccer game with the figurines. And I'm going to give them bad guys and good guys. I'm going to play bad guys versus good guys. Tag. And at the end, we got an Easter egg, Halloween candy hunt. Pretty good way to end off today. I got 11 things in their Ziploc bag. That's really hard. And unless I go home and eat the caramels. I love caramels. And the Werther's candy. Okay, 9? I should do that because that would be, their dentist would appreciate it. Alright, flippage, next. Another cartoon. Number 3 is where I want to be. Okay, so now we have distributive property. So write down distributes. This is where you mean it's multiply. This is where you multiply numbers and then add exponents on variables that are the same. That's what you're doing on 3, 4, 5, and 6. These are grade 9 questions. You're not collecting like terms yet. That's going to be the second step. The first step for 3 is to draw arrows. You know that end of arrow means stop it, stop sign, stop distributing, and then you get to the next bracket and you can start distributing until you see the end of a bracket again. Let's do the green arrows. 2x times x. If there's just one number, you write down the number. 2. What's x times x? X squared. Good. Now you multiply 2x times negative 2. What's 2 times negative 2? Negative 4, and there's just one x, so you write down the 1x. Now we have 3 times x. That's just 3x. And now we have 3 times 3, which is 9er. But don't forget, when we distribute twice, or when we FOIL later today, we're going to collect like terms. Go ahead and collect like terms. You can't add x squared to x's, but you can add x's to x's. by adding the numbers, or subtracting numbers, and keeping the x. So finish this one off before I do. Good job, good job, good job, good job, good job. -4 plus 3. That's what you do. In your head, you get -1. Don't have to write down the 1. If you do, that's fine. And the first term and the last term just come down. That's a 9, sorry. Looks like an A. Anybody get 2x squared subtract x plus 9? Do. Right on. Your turn to do 4 the exact same way. Distribute means multiply, and collect like terms mean add or subtract. Everyone knows that 2 crackers plus 3 crackers equals 5 crackers, not cracker squared. When you collect like terms, add the numbers, keep the letters. When you distribute, multiply the numbers, and multiply the letters, aka add exponents. What can I do? You're in Hockey Magazine. Want to read Hockey Magazine?
Are we gonna have any homework like for the lesson or not? Because there's something.
Just what's from yesterday. Okay, hopefully this one goes well for you. It's a grade 9 question. Do not foil this. Well, we foiled. You're going to go like this to get the purple arrow. In fact, let me do that one at a time. Okay, so 4x times x equals 4x squared. Next is 4x times 1. Anything times 1 is itself, so plus 4x. Next is -5x times x. Don't guess what that equals. Put the number and the sign, so -5 times 1, I guess, if you want to see it like that. And then x times x is x squared. And then blue, we have like -5x times -1. So just do the numbers first. So it's -5 times -1. Again, on your calculator for bigger numbers or just in your head. So plus 5, and then don't forget you have an x here that you need to bring here. Now, collect like terms. So some of you on the quiz stop there. There's another step. So you got 1 out of 2 or 1/2 out of 2. Now you have to add the x squares together and add the x's together. Go ahead and do that, please. I'll give you 10 seconds. You didn't get those numbers. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm using gold. Four subtract 5 is -1. I'll need to put the 1, x squared. And 4 plus 5 for the x's is 9. Keep the x. Can we get -x squared plus 9x? Yep. Just one? Oh, there we go. Thumbs. No fist bumps, eh? That was good. My 5. Oh, they can see my shadow. Alright, let's do 5er. 5er is even easier because it's not a 2-stepper, it's just a 1-stepper. So it's just distribute. 5 is just distribute. You have to recognize what you do. 5 is a monomial times a trinomial. You're going to just multiply, 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 and you're done. So only one number, -3, write it down. What's x times x squared? Add exponents, x cubed. Or there's 1x times 2 x's, and altogether there's 3 x's. Next, -3 times -2 is +6. Now do the letters. X times x, everyone? X squared. Next, -3 times 1. Anything times 1 is itself, so negative 3x times 1 is negative 3x. Now don't mess this answer up. That's a perfect answer. Don't add the x squared and x cubed together. You're done. Leave it. Move on. Here's your 2 out of 2. Put it on the fridge. Perfect. Okay, that's all there's to it. Multiply numbers, add exponents, you're done. Go ahead and do number 6, please. Equal signs. You didn't put equal signs, put yourself in the shins. I'm not sure what color to use. 2 times 2, m times m squared. Oops. 2 times negative 6. Again, don't forget, this is negative 6, not positive 6. M times m, muchacho squared. And lastly, 2 times negative 10 is negative 20, and there's only one muchacho. Can you subtract these? Nopa. Do I give you full marks for that? Yuppa. Anybody get that? Confirm. Yep. Oh, shaky head. That's good. Fist bump. There you go. Hi. You may. Okay, so we're now going to 21. Maybe I should go to that cartoon because I missed it with the other class. Okay. That's good. Hey, you guys don't like dad jokes? Well, I feel sorry for you for the next 3 months. All right. Let's move on to 21. 21 is a question we have that was after the quiz. This is a rewrite and FOIL question. So just like 5 squared is 5 multiplied by itself 2 times, so 25. This squared is x subtract 2 multiplied by itself 2 times. Okay, so we should understand that, not just write it down. Anything squared means multiplied by itself 2 times. Now we FOIL. Why don't we FLAW this one? It's close. Why can't we FLAW this one, just first and last? Okay, they're not opposite signs, so we have to FOIL this one. So let's FOIL. So x times x. Okay, we're drawing arrows. What's x times x? You got it. Now you know it. Now, what's x times negative 2? Well, if there's a letter, a variable, and a number, you just put the number in front of the variable. So negative 2x. That's what negative 2x means, negative 2 times x. Next is negative 2 times x again. And next is negative 2 times negative 2. You're not adding them, you're multiplying them. 2 negatives, when you multiply, equals a positive. Now collect like terms. I'll give you 10 seconds. Collect like terms. Leave the first term as is. Leave the last term as is. And add negative 2 subtract 2 on your calculator. Don't cancel it because it doesn't equal 0. It equals negative 4. You're collecting like terms. X and x does not equal x squared anymore because you're not multiplying them. You're adding them. 2 crackers plus 3 crackers equals 5c, not c squared. Okay, do the next one, please. 22 for you. Rewrite and FOIL. You could also do the shortcut that we learned yesterday. if you wanted to. Maybe the people that got 9 and more out of 10, just try to do the shortcut in your head, what you think this would equal to. Give yourself a little challenge. Okay, so rewrite it as W plus 7 times double V plus 7. FOIL it away. W times W is double V squared. Double V times 7 is 7 double V, but don't forget to put the plus sign. And plus 7W, and what's 7 times 7? Not 14. Are we done? Now we have to collect like terms. Okay, so don't leave it like some of you did on the quiz. Go ahead and collect those up, add them, and keep the letter. 7 watermelons plus 7 watermelons equals 14 watermelons. Full marks. You want to get that question right on the test. Remember the ones we did yesterday? They were more complicated than this. Try not make any sign mistakes. It happens, but the less we do make, the better we are. Okay, is that it? That's it. I'm going to give you your test back, your quizzes back. You got 15 minutes to fix your mistakes and hand them back in to me. Merry Christmas. Okay, you just handed your quizzes back. That's good. Now, I told you not going to have a quiz today. I lied. Here's the daily quiz. Write it down. Podcast people, I'm just go ahead and pause this and write down A, B, C, and then I'm going to move it down to D and E. And then pause that, and you can write that down and do them. And then next time you open the podcast, I'm going to start doing these questions fairly quickly. Start now. Okay, so if you didn't finish it, no worries. Let's get to it. And if you have all the right answers by the end of this quiz, you'll get 5 out of 5. Okay, so any mistakes you made, fix them up, and you'll get them all right. Unless you don't put equal signs, and then I'm going to give you minus 25 out of 5. That's not good. Okay, so equal signs, please. Negative 7 subtract 3 is what you're doing. That's negative 10. Keep the x. 1y plus 5y equals 6y. Check. Thumbs up this time. Thumbs up. Okay, lots of thumbs. Good. Next. Here's a grade 9 distributive question. So we're going to go negative 4x, and then negative 4 times negative 3 is plus 12. Next, negative x, or that's just subtracting that whole thing, so all those signs change, or multiply by negative 1. But you're not done. You got to finish it now. You got to collect terms, like terms. So negative 4 subtract 1 equals negative 5. Keep the x. And 12 plus 7. Anybody get 19? Fist bump, you got that. Sweet. Double fist bump. I didn't say double fist bump. Good job. C is just distribute and you're done. Okay, so that one is 4. X times x cubed is x to the 4th. This is 4 times negative 2, so negative 8. X times x squared is x cubed. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. X times x is equals x squared. You saluted, you got there. Salute. Okay, good. Now that can make me feel good. Next. We got, I don't know. No, we did purple. We got a FOIL question. This is a grade 10 question. So x times x is x squared. X times negative 3, put the number up front, leave the x. Same thing here, negative 7x means negative 7 times x. And now we're doing negative 7 times negative 3, which is 3 touchdowns for the Jets. Now you collect like terms by doing negative 3 subtract 7. So x squared subtract 10x plus 21. Okay, do a back flip like I just did, if you got it right. Oh, not bad. You didn't land it like I did, but good try. Good try. Too bad you guys couldn't see that on the podcast. Okay, this one is a grade 10 question. Rewrite in FOIL unless you want to do the shortcut. You're welcome to do the shortcut. If it works, then you want it, if it works every time, you can do the shortcut. Otherwise, we FOIL, we do not FLA, because it's the same signs, not different signs. We got 2x times 2x, which is 4x squared. This one, 2x times negative 6. 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. Keep the x. Same thing with this one. Negative 12. Keep the x. And lastly, what's negative 6 times negative 6? Plus 36. Are we done? Nope. Collect like terms. We get negative 12 subtract 12. That's how you do it on your calculator. Or in your big fat brain. Negative 24. Keep the x. Plus 36. Check. Here's a review of grade 9. So that's an awesome day.